Hey guys, I'm Joseph, the creative director at Visuals by Wave, and this is the Shawk23 Podcast. By creatives, for creatives.
Hi, I'm Shawk23, the creative alchemist. I'm a brand and motion designer, and this is the Shawk23 Podcast. This is the podcast by creatives for creatives, where I talk with other creatives and business owners who are shaping our future. On this podcast, we share our real stories and experiences about our wins, losses, and everything in between. My guest for today is a videographer and the man behind Visuals by Wave. Please make welcome Joseph. Hey Joseph, how's it going?
Hi Chan, good to be on the platform.
Yeah, Visuals by Wave is a mouthful, by the way. Was that a bright idea to come up with that that company name?
Yeah, it's actually Wave. So Wave, W-A-V-E, is an acronym. W stands for we, A is R, V for visual, and E for experience. So you wouldn't want to say we are visual experience all the time. I think Visuals by Wave is less mouthful than saying we are visual experience.
I should have just said Wave, but then I had to do the whole mouthful thing. Tell us a bit about yourself. For my audience who don't know you, who are you? Who's Joseph and what does he do?
Okay. I'm from East New Britain and East Sepik province of Papua New Guinea. I used to be in the tech industry before. Worked in the tech industry for about 5 years. And then I decided to go into pursuing a full-time business or full-time entrepreneurship. And the creative space was where I found comfort. I think that's where I found my calling, and I decided to jump into it.
So how long has Wave been running? How long have you been running Wave?
I think it's been around 2 years now, heading towards 3. We launched in 2023, around I think March or April in 2023. It's heading towards 3 years now.
How has it been so far?
Sorry, 3 years, or has it been 3 years already? March, so it's already 3 years. 3, 4, 5, 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, sorry.
You're heading into your 2 years. That's fine. Just continue, mate.
We're 3 years into business now, since launch in 2023. And the journey's been, a bit of ups and downs, but we've a lot of things that haven't been done here. We've tapped into it and we've explored new waters. Like I said, a lot of challenges. It wasn't a smooth ride, but 3 years on and no regrets.
What does tell me more about Wave. What does Wave do, and what is your role in Wave?
So basically, Wave started off as a videography company, and then we along the way we sort of tweaked the business a bit. Now it's more like a creative agency where we provide a variety of services that's in the creative space. It's sort of evolved into a business, an agency where clients can come for everything content, and you don't have to go elsewhere. We source it for you. We started off as videography, and now we can do voiceover, and we can do live streaming, and we can run a podcast platform as well. So it started off as a videography, and it's evolving as things are moving on, and that's the exciting thing about being a creative. It's not confined to one space or one niche. That depends on your decision as well. If you decide to evolve, then definitely you're heading in a exciting, I'd say the correct word to use is exciting venture. Yeah.
That's kind of wild how in just 2 years you started off as, just doing videography services, and then now you're doing, a wide range of services. was that the direction that you intended for Wave? Was that what you envisioned, or was that you just adapting to what the demand was or what clients expected of you?
Yeah, thanks for that question, Chen. I think it was us just adapting to what we hear. You know, running a business, it's all about your clients. Your clients come first. And that's something that we want to be able to do, or we sort of realized along the way. We want to be able to provide that end-to-end service, or that range of service that clients need. They don't have to, come for us with this and then run elsewhere or outsource it overseas to get
an all-in-one.
Yeah. To get a service like, post-production. They don't have to go post-production in China or India or Philippines. We want to do all of that here, as well as, doing corporate headshots or documentary and stuff like that. In the industry here, it's a new industry. Everyone, or I think from the traditional way of doing things, back then it was most of the TV broadcast station that did all of that end-to-end production. But I'm so happy that locals are now able to do that. And coming back to your question, that end-to-end service, we want to keep our clients, the client loyalty, maintaining that client loyalty, and maintaining that client trust is also pushes us as service providers to bring in all those services in one space where we show our clients that we care about them, and we want to nurture the relationship as well as deliver high quality content. You starting off as a videographer, obviously you would have like ambitions to grow the business, go into documentary filming, or eventually shooting a movie or something like that. So, and part of that, like along the journey, what I've observed through working a full-time job is, when you start a tech shop, you bring in all the accessories and stuff like that. You bring in batteries. If I sell cameras, I need to bring in batteries. I need to bring, cables and stuff like that. That's just the way I see running a creative agency, or a videography evolved into a creative agency. That's how it works. You want to provide that one main service, and then you want to provide other support service to maintain or to keep the client, as well as providing that one platform or one venue where your clients can come to you instead of running, here and there.
Yeah.
Does that answer your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives me a really good picture of what you do. And that's basically what an agency does. Hey, it's just the all-in-one shop. And definitely I'm getting a really good picture of what or who Wave is and what you guys do. Yeah. You mentioned that before you started Wave, you spent 5 years in the tech industry as
Correct.
a tech. How did your past experience shape you and prepare you to start Wave?
Yeah, well, I think, spending 5 years in the tech industry, that was straight after college that I got into. I think, Chen, we probably crossed paths during that time, right?
I think so.
Back
probably.
then, yeah. And
it's a small world. That's how we're getting.
that's
right. How we're getting all this.
I knew this guy a long time ago. Yeah,
before we were who we are now.
Before we evolved.
Yeah. Still evolving.
Still evolving. That's it. That's the.
So far, this is it.
Yeah.
So far, we're on the episode now. Next, I don't know what's next for us.
So yeah, when I college was IT. What I studied, IT. And I got into a marketing job at a tech company. And I'm grateful for that. Still grateful for it.
Was that what you actually studied for, or was that just...
No.
It was just a job that you just found yourself in?
Yeah, it was just a job. It was a tech job that involved a bit of tech and... it was a tech job that involved a lot of tech, but it was a marketing role. So that role pretty much, the tech company that I worked for was like diversified in terms of product. They did end-to-end retailing. Yeah. So I was involved pretty much. The marketing was shifting from traditional marketing during that time to what they have now, and more like a modernized system that we've
That would
put
have
in
been
place.
what, 2018, 19, 17?
Yeah, that'll be around 2017, 2017 plus 5 years on. So they were in the process of there was change in management, and in the process of shifting from the traditional marketing to a modernized system, tech system where marketing was done, using email marketing and
Oh, okay. So taking advantage of the internet,
taking advantage of internet and
Yeah.
integrating
the digital
the
marketing,
digital
space.
marketing
Okay.
into their system. So I was there, and there was no marketing manager or a marketing lead that was driving that. Pretty much, I joined the job, and they threw everything at me. So I went running on the first day. I started running on the first day, and all I had was my manager, which is now currently the owner of the company. Eventually bought it off. He actually bought it off by the age of 30.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I joined him for a year, and then after I joined him 2 years before he bought the company off. Yeah. So we pretty much, he was more into communications and IT. He sees something online, and then he just throws it at me, flicks it via WhatsApp or sends it via email and says, "Oh, let's try this." So that was like, we learned everything on the go. He learned it. I learned as well. I picked up a lot through that, and that was it. All we had was internet and YouTube, and that's it.
That's interesting. So how has that experience inspired you to start Wave? Like, what was the thinking behind? What made you want to leave the company or full-time employment and then start your own business?
Yeah. So while working full time, that was just a journey that I've started off with the company, and the opportunities that they gave me, or I think the progress that we were on, the rate that we were working at, and how we were evolving or introducing systems, digital marketing systems into the company, sort of opened my eyes. It gave me a clear insight of, these are the systems for the future. Business are evolving. Most of the businesses here in PNG back then didn't realize that, or didn't thought of investing into digital marketing and all that.
Because everybody was TV and radio and newspaper.
Everybody was TV, radio, and newspaper. So through introducing, like doing it myself, researching, okay, this piece goes with this piece, like putting all the puzzle together to make a system work, or to make a department work. That gave me an insight that this is pretty much how a company operates. So, like, I got that hands-on experience while working in tech. I did it myself. Like, I did research. There was a lot of research involved and a lot of hands-on. I think at one point I probably reached out to you for. I think I reached out for some designing questions that I had back then when I started with the company. It's been years. It's been years.
It has been years.
Yeah. I did WhatsApp you at one point. I can still remember. But yeah, so that how would I say it?
That all prepared you, like, trained you.
Through that experience, that all prepared me for life after work, or what I wanted to do down the line. And I went into the job like 3 years on, and then I was getting gigs outside.
While you were still working?
While I was still working. So I was getting gigs outside, a lot of videography work.
Like as a side job?
side hustle, as a side job. And then coming towards late 2020, I saw that it was very demanding. Clients were, it was, the hustle was demanding
From the side hustle.
from the side hustle, yeah. So I thought to myself that it was fair. It was only fair that I be clear with my employee and request for a release under good terms. And yeah, so then I jumped straight into
Not only the
content
demand,
creation.
but the income had to be enough to like supplement or give you the confidence to. Because I know some people who are
Exactly.
still working and still doing, you know, their creative side hustle. They're still like balancing it.
Yeah, it's tough, but you have to find your way around it. You have to make mistakes. I did a lot of mistakes. You know, simple things like doing quotations or pricing. Pricing is a challenge for.
But that was
A lot
while
of
you
us
were
creatives-
side hustling.
While I was doing it as a side hustle, I'm glad. Well, I had a full-time income, and I'm glad that sort of sustained me when I was experimenting. Yeah, pretty
It
much
gave you the
experimenting.
freedom.
Gave me the freedom.
Freedom
Like I had,
to-
okay, this is my playground on the side. This is my bread and butter. Protect my bread and butter, and playground was where I experimented. And yeah, well, most of this with Wave now, establishment of Wave, the services that we've identified and that are on our website are pretty much what we've pretty much classified ourselves that we can deliver this, and these are where our money making, where we monetize. So these are the stuff that pretty much pays the bill for us. If not, we wouldn't have it on our website. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really interesting because that's so opposite of what I did. I quit because I was exhausted. And then I just did freelancing to see if it would work. And then it's lasted me this long. So what I've had to do was like learn how to be a business person, like an entrepreneur on the side. And not on the side, sorry, like become that. And what I've realized is that a lot of creatives struggle with the business entrepreneurial side of it. Like everybody is creative, everybody has really good idea, they're artistic, everybody can learn how to use a camera, everybody can, learn how to design a logo and all of these things. But when it comes to like even simple things like client interactions, writing a simple email or talking with a client or like how to carry out a meeting, how to write a simple quote, bookkeeping, like those kind of things.
The basics, yeah.
Yeah, even though like those are basics, that's that's a big gap in the creative space where all these people have these big dreams, but they fail to know and to learn those systems. And what am I trying to ask? What I'm trying to ask is that while you were doing the side hustle and before you launched Wave, were you someone who already was developing like a business plan, developing like your system or putting together your team like ready so that when you quit, you would go straight into it? How was that transition period? And was Wave already ready for you to jump into it when you quit your job? Or did you take time to like really flesh it out? It was just an idea that you needed to flesh out, or was it something that was already ready for you to jump in because you were planning it in the background while you were still working?
Yeah, so pretty much when I when I decided to pursue content creation full time, Wave wasn't structured as yet. There was idea. It was very cloudy back then. I was doing like what most people are doing now. I was operating under my name. I was operating under my initials, which wasn't a brand that didn't tie in with any corporate houses or didn't tie in with big brands. So I saw that when I came out, I was doing it under my name, which most people are doing nowadays.
That was before 2023.
Before 2023,
Okay.
when I left my...
When did you leave?
I think I left work around 2021.
Okay.
2020 towards 2021, yeah. So, yeah, I came out still operating under my name, doing content creation, doing client work, very limited amount of jobs were coming my way. I think part of that was
Did you have a team as well, or it was just you, like solo?
it was just solo,
Mhm.
still solo. Um, so I was still operating under my name. I didn't really, my brand wasn't that clear, and like I said, there wasn't a structure in place. Wave was what I wanted to achieve, but the plan to get there wasn't there. There wasn't a proper plan or a goal. So I came out. There were few clients still supporting me back then. So I was running. I was doing content under my name, but then eventually it sort of had its peak. Had its peak for a very short time only, and then it went down because there wasn't a brand consistency. I didn't find my place in the market. I didn't identify where my direction is and who my clients are, or how would I service these clients long term. These are some questions that I asked myself back then. I mean, after realizing what went wrong for me as a content creator. And PNG market is totally different. And you know, the day and age that we're in a transition day and age where no other time would you come across that. You know, that transition is one time, and only we're the first people to face it. So yeah, so it was something new to me as well as other creatives as well who were doing it. I'm sure you probably had your challenges during that time, but yeah. So back to the question, there was no direction back then, but I left my full-time job, came out, started doing content creation as a full-time. Clueless about the market. I had some ideas, but very cloudy as to where my direction would take me and my goals were. But I had Wave at the back of my mind that I was going to launch something, yeah, which is what we have now. Yeah.
What is the? How did you bridge that gap between your vision and where you were? You say that you didn't have a plan, but you had an idea. What were some of the things that you had to learn, or some of the things that you had to do in order to make Wave a reality?
I think part of that, part of making Wave established, or part of establishing Wave was to let go of what I was operating under back then. So, and part of that was rebranding, giving a meaning to a name, and make that name come alive, make it become a brand, make it speak for itself. So when I realized that, it's something personal, you know. Most of us would want our creative agency to be under our name, which is not wrong. But at the end of the day, it's how you build that brand, the way I see it. And is that going to be whether that brand aligns or not the aligns? What's the right word?
Yeah, align.
Is it align?
Like match in sync.
With client, like in sync, sync. Yeah. So part of that is asking yourself whether the brand you're building is in sync with clients, who you're identifying, who your clients are, and whether I'm in sync with my clients. So I've realized that I've asked myself those questions, and I've decided to drop it. But no, this won't work for me. If I'm thinking big, if I want to go big, I have to rename my business. I have to give a meaning to my business name. For example, you know, Wave, we are visual experience. So the meaning of Wave, I mean, with the brand now Wave, it has a deeper meaning than just another ordinary name. It's we are visual experience. I come from an island home. We get inspiration from the sea, from the ocean wave, and PNG is an island nation as well. I'm pretty sure we all go out at sea. We get inspiration from the sea or from the shores. Whenever we want to clear up our mind, we go down to the sea, and you know, we sit by the sea, and you know, we get healing from the sea. So part of that is getting inspiration from the sea, from the wave. So with that, I've launched a brand with deeper meaning. Clients can relate to it. Clients can sync to it, and I think that's where the trajectory was for me. And having to do that also helped me identify my services as well. Going through that rough patch where I jumped out from a full-time job and then, taking that leap of faith, made me realize where my core business areas were, or core service, core part of my business were, my money-making side of business. So it's good to do everything, or do the regular stuff that every content creator does, but you have to find your spot in the market, and where your money making service is, or the demand is. Find it and pursue it and nurture it. That'll be my key takeaway from that. And once you identify those key money making areas, try to be good at it. Make sure you master it. Get team members on board. Sorry, I'm jumping into giving advice now.
No, that's fine, because that's what I was trying to lead into that. It's like, you've done a lot of research, you've done a lot of learning, and maybe someone in the audience has the same idea, has the same vision. How did you teach yourself? Did you learn through courses? Did you read books? Were there content creators that you followed that taught you about the gaps in your business to build it better so that you could launch it as Wave? How did you learn, or how did you teach yourself what you needed to know in order to bridge that gap before you launched the company?
Okay.
Unless you're gatekeeping.
Yeah, so through relaunching that brand, it was an experience from my full-time employment before. The company was around 60 years old with an old brand. So it was operating in PNG for over 60 years, pre-independence time. So after 60 years, when I joined the marketing team, I was part of that rebranding. I drove the rebranding of that company, and that experience sort of came in play. You can see like the link in between that experience. So just like how we dealt with our marketing back then, I just get chucked ideas. I got a bunch of ideas that were thrown at me, and they told me to run with it. So the before branding that the company had, or I'm referring to branding, the logo, or branding. It's actually branding.
Yeah, the entire thing.
Yeah, and the story.
The
and
entire
that,
brand and
yeah.
everything.
So the
inside and the out.
Yeah, so the entire branding from what used to be previously a 60-year-old branding that was tied to the company with no meaning to it, we had to do, I think, 3 months of work to tie a meaning to it. What are the colors? What are the symbols? What are the meaning of the symbols? What are the meaning of the colors on that brand? So that rebranding process taught me a lot. And I'm still, until today, I'm still grateful for that. It's like, giving a name to a kid, a biblical name to a kid with a meaning. So
it's raising a child.
It's like raising a child.
Sending them off to school.
That's it.
Okay, so it's just your experience from work, and you were just in a really good time when the company was rebranding. So everything, being one of the key people in that time, you basically just absorbed all the lessons and then you applied it. Am I right
Definitely.
to assume that you stopped seeing, like when you were operating under your own name, you stopped trying to, what am I trying to say is that you started to see yourself not as just like a freelancer, but you started to see yourself more as a company or a brand of its own. Was that where the real change, or that switch started to really flip?
Yes, definitely.
Like you started to see yourself as a company, like your former employer, and not just like somebody who just does a side hustle. Was
Definitely.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the point that I realized that, hey, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than one individual or a person. That's when I realized it. I asked myself those questions whether, is this long term or not? Is this self-sustained?
Yeah.
It's a company. There's a saying, it's a company when it runs without you.
Yeah.
When you're sick and down at home. And if it runs, it's a company.
If it doesn't run,
it's a business.
job.
If it doesn't run,
if the business needs you to run it, it's a job.
I know.
I think that's what Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's one of the things that he talks about.
That's it. So I realized that, and I took a step back. And I did re-strategize and plan the entire branding and all that. And then,
how long did it take you to like really sit down and plan it?
I think it probably took me about 3 or 4 months to do that. But the experience was like it took years to get there. To realize it and to make the move, it took years. To actually plan the move, and plan the rebranding and all that, it took me months to get there.
Within that time, were you putting a team together, or were you still gonna launch the company by yourself?
During that time, I was putting a team together. I had a motion designer joined. I had a videographer / editor join as well.
That's before launching Wave.
Wave. So I sent them messages on WhatsApp, and I said, hey, I'm doing this, doing that. This is my idea, but I need you guys to be part of the team, and if you guys could help me launch it. And until today, they're still part of the team. They're not operating with us now here, but they're
on a full-time basis.
Yeah, they're remotely working. So, and they're still they're still a reliable part of the team that I still run to whenever there's multiple projects and stuff like that. But yeah, putting it all together, I had to reach out to people to help support me. And a lot of the people that were supporting me were other content creators. They hardly do post, like, some of the good content creators, they stay behind the scenes. They don't post. Yeah, so these are the ones that were part of launching Wave. Yeah. What else did you ask for?
No, I was just trying to know. So when were you really ready? When did you feel like you were ready to actually launch Wave? What were some of the things that made you go like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's go all in.
I think when I realized that I was ready was when I first invested into my first Sony camera.
Okay. You put money, you spent money now.
I spent money I decided to, I spent money to make myself work. So if I was going to sit on it, if I don't do that investment, then I wouldn't make the move. I think that's a lot of things that push us to do what we do now is we invest into gears, and then that gets us up to do the work, like the podcast equipment that we're using now. We invested prior to launching a podcast. We invested like 2 years ago into it. It was collecting dust, and then eventually we found the time to use it. So I think that's one push for all creatives, or most creatives. They buy stuff and then they learn it after that. It's a bit reverse, but I think it works for me.
It worked for you, 2 years. We'll continue this conversation, but before that, this podcast wouldn't be possible without the wonderful people at Smart Hills Corporate Solutions. The Shawk23 Podcast is proudly sponsored by Smart Hills Corporate Solutions. Smart Hills Corporate Solutions provide IT solutions for corporate businesses and creatives like myself. They provide a wide range of products and services and are certified resellers of software such as Microsoft Office, Adobe Creative Cloud, Wondershare, and more. To find out more, please visit their website on www.smarthills.com.pg. Now back to the show. And we're back. So Joe, you've said a lot about your business and about, building Wave and how it came to be. One of the things that you do at Wave is that you have not a big team, but like you work with a lot of people. What is that like? How do you find managing creatives in terms of like helping them like getting, work done and managing them? And what are some of the highlights of working with creatives, but also what are some of the challenges that you've been experiencing with Wave or with your team at Wave?
Having to introduce new team members was a challenge for me. When I first started Wave, I was working with a team, but they were creatives already established, working remotely, or they joined me on a project basis. So that was a bit of smooth sailing for us. But then the challenge was they had other projects as well, and they were running their own businesses or working full-time back then. So eventually you have to let them go. We had to let them go. And that peace of mind wasn't there, knowing that they're your team members based on availability. They won't be there full-time. Like if a client calls tonight and wants us to travel by, midday tomorrow, they're on a 50-50 chance that you'd get them or get the same level of talent that you need for that particular job or for delivery consistency. In terms of project delivery, you want to maintain consistency, and that was a big challenge for me, having to work with a team, but the team was based remotely, but they were other creatives. They were creatives that had their own side hustles as well. So when we launched Wave, we operated for a year with that sort of structure. We operated with a remote team that there was a lot of ups and downs. I think more downs than ups that we had, more disadvantages.
I can understand, like it'd be really hard to do deliver projects on time if the talent is just not available for you to. And then turning down jobs as well. Like you're available, but your collaborators are not.
That's it.
So what is that when you started opening Wave up to hire more full-time?
Yes. So that's when
full-time team.
That's when I realized that I can't be doing this. I'm just gonna lose a lot of clients, and it'll paint a bad picture on Wave. So after a year, I realized that, and I decided to bring in new team members on board. And most of these most of my new team members are freshmen. They do have a certificate or a grade 12 certificate, but with good attitude. I've just brought in people with good attitude to work with. People that are open-minded, willing to learn, basically good attitude, and passionate about the industry as well. So
yeah. I've heard something that goes like, it's better to hire people that's easy to work with than people who are talented but are difficult to work with. I think that's the same with clients as well. Let's move on to some of your. I'm sorry, I have to laugh for a moment.
Definitely.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but that's just funny to me. I was thinking about client expectations. Now, on your website, you talk about like your experience with the national gaming, fishing gaming.
National game fishing titles.
National game fishing titles. One of the key things that I read from like your case study was that the game required like a daily turnaround because they needed content done daily. What is that experience like? What is it that your audience or everyday people, like as business owners, we're also content creators and we're posting like videos of our work and we're putting our work, but like behind the scenes, what is it that's something that people just don't know? Even your clients don't even know the amount of work that was put in.
Yeah. Oh man, that required us to. I'll just go back home for now. That required us to sleep at one location, because the game fishing titles required 6 a.m. lines in, meaning that you have to wake up, be prepared. 6 a.m. is when your boat is out there and your lines are in the water, and 6 p.m. lines out. So you have to be back. 6 p.m. lines out, and then you have to head back.
That
into
means you
base.
have to be awake before.
Exactly. That's why I'm.
Wait, did you guys even sleep? Because like I'm just trying to imagine the workflow, because you have to capture footage during the day and then edit all night.
All night, yeah. That's it. So we had to find a location where everyone can bunk in on that spot for 9 days.
How many people did you have on that team?
We for 2024, that was the biggest that we pulled off. That was last year. Hosted here in Port Moresby by Port Moresby Game Fishing Club. So 5 team members, including me. There was 5 of us. It was a 9-day tournament. So for those 9-day, we did pre-planning and we strategized before that. So based on past experience, I sort of sat down with the team and told them, hey, this is the plan. We have to run with this. These are the expectations. This is when you expect this and that. So we had to bunk in at one location, leave the location around 4 a.m. every day for 9 days. Be on site, pick up breakfast on site as well, and then team splits from there. Editor stays back on base. I had 2 cameramen shooting, so the 2 cameramen were out. We were assigned a boat to the media crew, which was we took advantage of that, and the team was moving around with the anglers, with other fishing boats that were out during the tournament, and that the team was moving around during daytime. My editor was on base doing editing. I had to behind the scenes. I had to provide lunch, sort out logistics for the boys, make sure that the lunch are packed. They have lunch while they're out, or where they have lunch while they're editing at the gantry. And then 6 p.m. lines out. We got presentations every night. We have to when there's a big catch coming in, we send out the drone. Drone has to always follow the boat or the yacht that's bringing in the big catch. Weighing as well. My guys have to be stationed at the weighing where they're weighing the fish, taking photos and all that. And then presentations at night. 6 p.m. lines out, weighing, and then presentation around 7:30. So my guys were capturing presentation as well. And then during 2024 we introduced briefing and debriefs as well. So I told the game fishing president, he's also one of my good mates, one of my mentors as well. I told him, mate, no argue. Can we catch you 6 a.m. for briefing every morning at the gantry, and then 6 p.m. debriefing at the gantry as well. 6 p.m. you bring in one of the committees, or you bring in one of the anglers that went out during the day, so we can get some live, or we can get some real encounters shared on the platform as well. So that's it. We had briefing every morning during coffee with him, whether it's 5:30 or 6 a.m. And then in the afternoon, he comes back and shares all the action. And, this is game fishing. It's a lot of action. Always exciting to hear new stories and, how they messed up, how their lines got, they lose the fish outside and all that. Yeah, and part of that, we were managing socials as well. So I was out and about and managing socials. So I got my phone. I got login credentials to all their profiles. So we were doing live updates. The video requirement, all the reels had to be posted the next day before 12
How
p.m.
many second reels?
How many second reels?
Yeah.
It was like 2-3 minutes reels.
Yeah.
So. Part of that, getting that main content was getting the interview in there. We structured the interview has to go on for us to reach that mark. Otherwise, if there's no interview, we could have clocked in like 30 seconds every day or 15 seconds. Or,
I was gonna ask, were you guys the main media team, or were you one of many, and you were just assigned certain roles to cover or certain areas to cover?
With that, we were able to strike a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
We were one of the platinum sponsors, along with some of the big brands. I think one of the TV broadcaster was there as well as another media company as well, established media companies. There was another one.
But they weren't managing your socials. You were the ones managing the socials.
They weren't managing the socials. We were managing the socials, getting all the daily.
So you were
updates.
the events media team for that whole entire fishing.
Yep, exactly.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, so we were doing that. We were doing end to end, covering everything. So part of going back to content, part of that was part of apart from the interviews, my guys were doing photos during presentation, and there was about 30, 40 boats. And the challenge was to get content as much as possible, get content from each of all those boats. So we established a WhatsApp group where they can take photos or take videos while out and about. We just gave them our requirement. How to shoot it, or whether it's portrait or landscape.
The fishermen or
the fishermen, the anglers. So
nice.
While out and about,
from their POV.
That's
nice,
it. So
smart.
they did that thing, and then they were sending it daily. So
your job was just to organize and to see which one was gonna go on the feeds.
That's it. Managing the content that's coming in, foldering them correctly, getting the reels done on time, delivered, uploaded on time. It was a big challenge for us, but I'm glad, we pulled it off. And
how many days was the actual event, the game fishing?
It was a 9-day event. So
how did you guys feel afterwards? Like, I would have imagined you guys took a couple of days off. Like, that would have been exhausting.
We felt exhausted.
Unless you guys already had a project lined up and you guys, no, guys, on to the next one.
Good thing there wasn't anything. On straight after that. So on the last day, there was like a presentation night, which I told the boys, go get pissed. You deserve it, but to your limit, and then let's go head home. So as part of rewarding the team as well, you don't have to be entirely strict, so long as your gears is secured, dropped off at your location, stored away and all that. Make sure that everything is in place. The presentation night was a good night that I think my guys enjoyed the most. Some of them, my editor, he was a quiet guy. I won't mention his name, but I think you'll figure out my editor.
Okay.
Yeah, so quiet guy editing for 9 days. On the 9th day, he was out mingling and,
he came out of his cave.
He came out of his cave, and man, he was the talkative on that night. So, but again, it comes back to how well you plan things, and in terms of managing your team well, keeping a balance. I think that's one thing that's been working for us. Keeping a balance of things, and in terms of like large project like that, it's better to scope it out well.
Have a really good system and a schedule and a routine, I guess.
That's it. Identify areas where you would need support, or you would entirely focus your energy on, and do that.
Yeah. I feel like we're talking too much about challenges and like downsides. What really drives you, and what drives the team? What motivates you guys? What makes you guys, do a 9-day fishing trip, but then still show up the next day for the next client? What fuels you and drives you? What is the beating heart of Wave?
I think most of my team members are people with good attitude, who just didn't have the opportunity to to showcase their talent or given an opportunity to work or be part of a team that's doing something great. So most of my team members, I've handpicked them, and I know that these guys, they support their family as well, and I do support my family as well. So doing work for Wave is a passionate thing. As creative, I do have my drive. I am passionate about content creation, but at the end of the day, I have a family that I support, and Wave pretty much is our support system for not just me, but my team members as well. At the end of the day, they get paid, they go home, they support their family. So I think we have a good support system that's behind us, that drives us, and we may work hard. We may work hard for 9 days or 14 days, or we just did a 14-day, 10 or 14 days in Manus. We may work hard for days and late hours, but it's rewarding. Good thing is it's rewarding, and it's also paying the bills and putting food on the table for not just me, but for my team members as well. So that's something, I think that's one of the key, what's the word?
Like motivations.
I think that's one of the key motivations that's behind our driving force. And, we've got a lot of equipment. We've invested a lot in equipment. We're in the process of investing in human resource as well, getting my team up to that standard.
Okay. It's good that you said human resources. I thought you were going to say human trafficking. I was like, no, we have to cut that out. Red flag.
Red flag. I'll say that again.
No, just continue.
Yeah. So, investing back into the team and our driving force. Yeah, it's always been the team and the team behind the team. The support system, yeah, that keeps us going. So I'm sure we all have a good support system, and that support system is where, that's our lifeline. And whatever we do at Wave, it goes beyond just the team or just buying equipments and stuff like that. We're also feeding families and people behind the scenes. So I think that's the driving force for me, and I think that'll take me to the next level. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well said. Well said. This reminds me that early in the conversation, one of the things that you said was that you wanted to create an agency that stopped clients or stopped people from outsourcing outwards, and you kind of made it your mission to tell or to prove the point that we're an agency that can do it all, that local talent can do what other people can do overseas. Is that something that you guys value here at Wave?
Definitely, that's something that we value here. Part of our success is our clients, or the main part of our success is having good clients that come back for more business. And when someone does that to you in a relationship, you will have to prove that through loyalty and through going that extra mile, right? That's in a business relationship. You would ask the client, "Hey, am I doing this right? How can we tweak it? How can we meet your expectation if something is not right?" So that's in business. That's part of your nature as an entrepreneur to ask those questions. Ask yourself, have that space for room or that room for improvement. Being able to have room for improvement. So, what was the question again?
Yeah. Like the core value, like, do you guys value local talents, and do you value like the idea that locals can do what other people overseas can do?
Oh yeah. So part of
like local talent.
Yeah. So the industry is evolving, and part of having my team, the industry is evolving, and we want to be that go-to agency in PNG where we can provide stuff that you want to source from India or source from from stock footages or stock images. You don't have to get Africans to come, to be on your posters and stuff like that. we want to be able to provide all that with local, authentic content. So my drive was to bring that, make it a one-stop shop, a one-stop service provider, where voiceovers can be provided here. We nurture that relationship with clients, so we want to provide end-to-end service that you don't have to source it elsewhere. Okay.
It's kind of like you're just investing. You believe in investing in local talent, and that you believe that we can do that. If you're a client, that you don't have to go elsewhere. We can do what you're asking us to do.
Yeah, part of that is showing clients that we can do what you're outsourcing.
We can do the same job.
We can do the same
do.
job. We can deliver. It's just, we're establishing and we are evolving. But I think locals can do it. That's why all my content team, they're freshmen, but they're content creators that are capable of delivering jobs that you pay 10 times or 20 times for an outside agency to run. So I believe us locals, we can pull off the job. And having said that, our support system through businesses haven't just been locals. I got expatriates that truly trust in local content creators, and they come for content for we deliver content for them. So there are people that believe in us, but we have to prove ourselves, prove to clients that we can deliver
the same kind of work at the same kind of quality.
The same kind of work and the same kind of quality that
there you go.
Clients require.
How important is client relationships? And also, how do you manage client expectation? How do you have that kind of conversation when a client thinks something can be done so easily? How do you have that conversation? And how do you build trust and formal? Because the way that you're talking, you have a really good client relationship. How do you build that over time? And to other creatives out there and creative business people who may be struggling or want to do that, what are some tips that you can give to build that client relationship and also manage client expectation? When do we say no? When do we say yes?
Yeah, I think the most important part of engaging or prior to engaging with a client is to understand their expectations. Is to have that initial conversation, whether it's on email or one-on-one meeting. Establish that understanding between you and the client, or understand what the client's expectations are. Identifying, what they're really asking for, and then you assess yourself whether you're able to deliver based on that expectation. So it's like putting everything on the table first, and then identifying, okay, these are my tools, these are my skill set, and this is what the client is asking for. Is it easy for me to deliver? Do I need to outsource? And having that, outsourcing is not a bad thing.
It's just being upfront and honest about what you can do and what you cannot do.
That's it. So it's having that initial conversation, understanding expectation. That's very important for the client. And then after that is during the phase of the production, having a clear communication channel between you and the client, giving updates on the phases. If it's a large project, phase 1, phase 2, or phase 1.1, 1.2, having that open communication and updating the client. I think the main thing is communication between you and the client. Openly communication. If there's any hurdles, communicate that early. Yeah,
honest, upfront, and that's
it.
Your key to building good client relationships.
That's your key to building good client relationship. And in terms of most creatives, they get questioned about their quotation and stuff like that. You have to really identify why you're quoting this, and why you're quoting that. Explain it. Break down do not use so many technical terms and break it down for them so they understand why I'm paying for this, why I'm paying for that.
Okay.
Justify it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Learn to speak their language, but learn to help them, teach them to understand your language. So
Your
there's,
language as well.
yeah, okay. Got it. Man, you've said a lot of really good things that I really hope that everybody out there will find valuable. One of the things that you, my audience, will notice is that I'm at a new location with a new setup. And it's mainly thanks to Joseph and the team at Wave, who've generously allowed me to record this episode in their brand new podcast studio. What do I call it?
Podcast platform.
Yeah, podcast platform. And it's one of their new services. Joe, tell me more about this exciting new platform that you've launched.
Yeah, so basically it's the Wave podcast platform. So we provide a podcast platform where you bring your stories and we run all the technical setup. We provide the gears, these mics, screen lighting and everything, even the space. We provide that technical support, including equipment, whatever requirement you need to run your podcast. So
Basically people like me who have a podcast, but it's mainly for people who have the idea for a podcast, because I get this question a lot. A lot of people have the idea for a podcast, but they don't have the equipment. Are you the solution for them?
Exactly. So that's where we step in. I mean, podcast is a thing now.
Yeah.
It's free to air, and it's available on all socials, and
It is booming. Like so many people
on Spotify you can travel and listen to a podcast. It's accessible anywhere, like it's easy to access. So I see that most influencers, most corporate leaders, you're writing on LinkedIn. I see you writing on LinkedIn, but I know you want to get on a show to tell your story, or pretty much to run a series of whatever your expertise is. So pretty much it's an open platform for any. It can be rugby. We had a rugby team here
Okay.
a couple of days back, just running the show. They were talking about players having to train hard to make the Asia tour,
Okay.
and also studying university and getting prepared for the final exam. And they did it. They got the degree and they walked in here.
Whoa. So fresh graduates from
Fresh
UPNG.
graduates, yeah.
Oh man, that's an exciting episode
so-
too. Are you doing a podcast yourself? Is Wave doing a podcast, or are you just hosting the podcast?
We are at this point. We are just hosting the platform. With our services provided currently. Is just providing the platform. You bring your story, we provide the platform, and then we might come in to upsell to run the socials and stuff like that if the client requires us. But at this
So
stage,
not only can you host it, but you also got your team is capable of managing the socials and the content as well.
exactly.
Nice.
So we are providing the platform, and we can do the we can manage the socials as well, make sure that it's delivered on time, and I was gonna mention something about game fishing.
No, it just makes that just makes everything so much more easier, because then the guest or whoever the host needs to do the show, they just come, sit, yap, talk, give value through knowledge and expertise, and then they can just go away, and then you guys can manage everything. Unless you're someone like me that has to be involved in production, because that's what I do for this podcast.
Sorry, I'll just detract a bit. Part of game fishing, delivering game fishing, we provided. That'll come back to the podcast.
Okay.
Part of game fishing, we delivered. We were running socials for them. We delivered a digital report after that.
Oh, okay.
So clients are always after, what's the buy for me, or what are my ROIs? They want to see the stats and analytics and everything.
Okay.
We were able to provide that for that. So with the podcast platform, if we run socials, we will follow up with a report
Nice.
and all that. So
The metrics, man. The metrics are As someone who is a creative and then becoming more entrepreneurial, like I'm understanding more of how business and numbers work. Like I'm just an artistic soul, but like becoming and adopting and growing into this mindset, it's a whole new challenge, but it's also fun and exciting. And that should be, as we're coming to the end of the podcast, I just want to ask you one question as we close off. What do you see for the future of Wave? Where do you see Wave in 10 years' time?
In 10 years' time, I see Wave one of the biggest, or probably the biggest agency in PNG. With a lot of freshies coming through as well. It's about good attitude. So my team members have the right attitude. I'm willing to bring in more team members, get them to learn the trade, and be part of a great team that's bigger than myself. So
it's basically just growth and expansion.
Growth and expansion, yeah.
Well, you guys already, in 2 years, you've accomplished so much so quickly. So I have no doubt that whatever you pursue, you can achieve.
Thank you.
With ease.
Nah, not with ease.
On the surface, but yeah.
With ease on the surface, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes. But 10 years from now, I see us growing, expanding the team, expanding our capabilities, or refining our capabilities to be experts in the services that we've decided to do. And pretty much expansion. Who knows? Other provinces as well.
Ooh, other offices, man.
Or who knows? Pacific as well, or Asia market as well.
Let's go. Why not? It's early days. As you said, it's early days.
Early days now, so.
We've come to the end of the episode, but like for people who are interested to work with you or to know more about you, how can they contact you or reach out to you?
Yeah, so we have a website. I'm sure that there's a link that'll pop up. It's visualsbywave.com. That's our
I'll hold up
web
a piece
address.
of paper.
Chen can hold up a piece of paper. So our web address is visualsbywave.com. Visualsbywave, one word, .com. You can go through the contact section there, and you can reach out to us through our website, or we have our socials. Just type in Visuals by Wave or hashtag Visuals by Wave. We're available on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well.
Most importantly, LinkedIn.
That's
where everybody is,
LinkedIn,
man.
yeah.
Get on LinkedIn. If you're a creative and not on LinkedIn, you're missing out. That's where all the juicy stuff is.
That's it.
That sounds wrong. Anyway, thank you so much, Joe, for your time and for being on the podcast. I really had a lot of fun and just it was really interesting getting to know your story and just your mindset of how you've built Wave. And so thank you so much for making the time to be here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you to the team at Wave as well, to all the boys behind the camera who are in the sound booth, and to my editor, which is me, who in the future. Thank you for editing this episode, and I really hope that you find it valuable. And that's about it. To all my audience, thank you so much for your following, your support, and thank you for liking and subscribing this far. Please continue to share, like this video, so that more people can have access to this video, can view this video and watch it. I really hope that you found a lot of value in this episode, and I hope that Joe can come on another time and we can do maybe a series, potentially.
Potentially.
Like I really want to crack open that business mind of yours, yo. That's value for us creatives. Anyway, with that said, to all my fellow creatives, dream big, embrace your weird, and remember, all things are possible to those who believe and work hard for. I'm Shawk23, the Creative Alchemist. Aparua.